Here we go. Test podcast 1, I guess. Okay. So we haven't done a podcast in a long time.
Really?
And the first one we decided to fire it back up in is in the middle of the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really sure what's wrong with us, except that we're utterly and absolutely exhausted.
Oh, the bugs, man. It followed you. You brought it to me.
I brought the bugs to her.
He totally had it.
I'm Gary Orona. This is Tabitha Stevens.
Hey.
We just wrapped up another movie. And so we decided to take this Friday and get a little R&R, a little rest and relaxation after 6 weeks of 16-hour days every single day. And so what do? We decide to go into the wilderness and do a crazy, insane scramble, slog, grind through rocks, up hills, down hills.
Mm-hmm.
Great rest.
And then Gary decided, hey, let's climb over this mountain. This is after we had done our hike. We were at the truck, and then I'm like, okay. So we climbed over a mountain. Then we were going to head back, and I said, hey, you know what? Let's just walk a little further. Oh, that looks cool over there. And Gary was kind of like, okay, I guess. And then we're leaving. I'm like, okay. And guess what happened? She
found a petroglyph site, an ancient rock art site, undocumented, super cool.
It's so cool.
I'll take some photos and put it into the...
Can they see it right now?
No, they can't see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am waving my hands like, hey,
so
there
ancient
it is.
rock art site. So how cool is that? We have produced 4 movies, 1 TV pilot, and a feature-length documentary in the last 9 months.
Oh, wait. And then you also filmed for a friend of ours, which I was in that film. So there's that, too.
Oh, and I was the director of photography for one of Tom Devlin's films.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been our last 9 months.
It's a lot of work.
It's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think we may have lost our minds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we are firing the podcast back up again, and we're going to do it in crazy places. We don't want to do it in areas where it's set up and too staged. We want to make it real.
I'm sorry, is that the hawk?
No, it's an off-road vehicle.
No, in the sky. We can see it's going by.
I don't know. Peanut, we got to stay focused here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We can't get distracted. Here we go again.
That's what's so fun about us, right? Because I totally get distracted all the time.
Yes, Tabitha Stevens is the queen of distraction.
That's not nice. All right, maybe a little. Just saying what?
So.
Oh, sorry, I moved my mic, my fuzzy.
Like these fuzzy mics, we have lavaliers. So what we've done is we have these little...
Lavalier. Hi. Do you like my lavalier? Because I like your lavalier. Can I touch your lavalier? I'm sorry.
You realize this is literally going right back to the old podcast.
No, it's not. I'm just having fun.
Everything was
I know.
sensualized.
Not everything. But that's how I am. It's
true.
What I've
She's
done
authentic.
my entire career.
She's the real
but
deal.
I have fun with it, you know.
So doing podcasts in like wild locations, wilderness locations, right? I mean, we do this all the time. You guys know that. Mm-hmm. We're addicted to it, and we're in crazy wild places all the time. How cool is it that we've got it set up now where we can actually do podcasts wherever we are? And that's the idea with this, right?
Yes.
And is this, I don't know, comment? What do you think?
I think you need to take an Allegra or a Claritin. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, that's more vlogging, isn't it? Than it would be.
Vlogging? No.
No, people are vlogging with a camera and putting it on like YouTube. That's kind of like a thing, but that's not a podcast.
This isn't like, we're not vlogging.
I said that's what people do. I'm just saying that's.
Yeah,
if people are out, they might vlog, not do a podcast.
Okay, so who do we know that does a podcast that?
I didn't say podcast. I said a vlog.
Okay.
Oh boy, it's going down this hole.
Here we go again. This is the first podcast that we had was what, 8 or 9 years ago. It's a long time ago.
It's been a long time.
And we had a ton of subscribers.
Like a lot.
But we were super busy, like 250,000. Is
Yep.
that what I said it was eventually?
Mm-hmm.
And we were so busy and we weren't monetizing it. We really didn't know how to monetize it.
You know
It
what
wasn't.
we were doing.
We didn't.
Ow.
And it wasn't on our
Sorry.
radar. It wasn't like we're like, oh, let's go do a podcast and monetize it.
Mm-hmm.
We were just having fun, and it really exploded. But then we stopped because we got so busy, and it was just kind of getting in the way. We should have kept it going.
Yeah.
And so we've talked for a long time about firing it back up again and doing it again. But we didn't want to do it like sitting in a studio or a living room or some boring ass place. We were like, well, how can we do it where we'll have fun doing it?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this one goes. I'm cool with still doing it in the house. I have no problem because there are going to be days. Because lately, the weather out here in Nevada has been freaking nuts. Like lots of storms, wind, and it's hard to, do dialogue. Like we're doing our movies. We've been doing our movies outside. But it's hard because of the wind. So, earlier it was a little windy.
In fact, this last movie that we just completed, which is called Aliens Attack at Groom Lake.
Yes.
And it's fun.
It's very fun.
Every single day was a horrifying wind fest.
It was. Yeah.
Every day was 15 miles per hour plus in wind, sometimes 30 miles per hour, every single day. And we were filming in these really wild locations in and around these old abandoned gold and silver mines out here in the Wild West, like truly remote and abandoned. And the weather sucked.
It was so bad. And then days, it was supposed to be warm-ish, like let's say 75, 77. Oh no, it wasn't.
No,
it was
horrible.
Freezing cold and windy. And I'm running around with like this little top and these pants. And it was just...
Sort of like you are now.
Kind of, but less. No, I didn't have a shirt on. I'm just doing this because of the sun. Normally,
Right.
I like to walk around with nothing on, but out in the bushes, there's no way. I gotta
Bugs.
protect. No, in the bushes. Like, I don't want to get scratched.
So day after day after day, we're in the wind, we're getting beat to hell.
Yes.
We, as you guys all know, we film in really wild locations a lot, all over the American Southwest. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold. And we're actually pretty cool with that. That's okay. Like, we've got that all worked out. We're professionals. I think we're pretty much experts at that at this point.
Speak for yourself.
But the wind changes everything.
Oh, yeah.
The wind is the thing that... Can I tell a story?
Is it long?
No, it's short. I'm going to tell a story about the wind.
What?
So the Navajo call the wind nitch, and I'm probably pronouncing that totally wrong.
So we apologize.
When I was in my early 20s, I used to hang out with the Navajo, the Dene, more appropriately. And they call the wind nitchit. I have a special relationship with nitchit. So I was in my 20s, and we were doing a little PSA, a public service announcement, which is a commercial, for a Native American tribe that was having some problems with some new mines that were coming in. They didn't really want it to happen. They were worried about the toxicity of it all, et cetera, the usual environmental concerns, et cetera. So we put our money out there and said, look, we'll shoot this PSA. And so we went down into southern Utah, just above the Arizona border, and we were literally on a canyon ledge shooting this thing. And we've been shooting up until lunch, and everything had been fine. And come lunch, I decided to change the location, and we were going to build a kind of a burial ground, an ancient Native American looking burial ground on the edge of this cliff, and it's way up before the Grand Canyon starts, but these cliffs are still like 2,000 feet to the canyon below. And I came up with this crazy harebrained idea. Okay, let's move the whole crew out there, and we're going to shoot the rest of the afternoon on the edge of this cliff with this amazing, ancient burial ground that we were recreating. And we built it. Spent about an hour or two after lunch building it. So we had maybe 2 or 3 hours left to get this thing done. And literally right as we started filming, this zephyr, this incredible wind came up. And within a minute, it had blown the entire set, everything we had created, up into the air, over the cliff, 2,000 feet down into the canyon below. And I was furious, to say the least. So I kind of stormed off. I was really pissed. Our day was done. We were worried about the camera. It was 35 millimeter motion picture film. We didn't want to pull the magazine off because in the crazy wind, there's the possibility of getting a lot of dirt and grit in the gate, which would scratch the film. Back in the day, we shot this thing called film. And so we were wiped. We were done. And I had lost at that point thousands and thousands of dollars I committed to it. That really wasn't the big deal, though. It was just the fact that I really loved this thing and the wind had kicked our ass. And then I'm storming it away, and I had a dear friend of mine who is a Native American medicine man, a really dear friend. Love him, love him, love him, love him. And he was with us. He was kind of like moral support, like the spirit guide, if you will. Super awesome. And as I walked away, a dust devil, another chunk of wind came up, a big one, and it went straight towards the area we had created for our sound mixer. And our sound mixer had a Nagra recorder. And I know most of you won't know what a Nagra is, but it's a reel-to-reel, 1/4-inch magnetic tape. That's what we used back in the day there. And these things are expensive, $10, $12, $15,000 recorders, right? They're top of the line. They're amazing. This dust devil went straight for the sound mixer's little mini compound, hit the area. There was a truck right behind him that had one of those shells on the back. It ripped the shell off the truck. The shell flew up into the air about 30 or 40 feet and then came crashing down right on top of the Nagra, crushing and destroying our sound recorder. So that was what happened after the wind blew our set over the cliff into the canyon below. That was probably the first seminal moment that I had with a very intimate relationship, let's call it, with the wind. And I've spent the last 30 plus years, again, because we film in these crazy locations, fighting that.
Well, Gary, you forgot the important part.
What's that?
What were you told not to lose?
Oh, thank you. So when the Nagra got crushed, I was more pissed than ever. I was so pissed. And my Native American medicine man friend came running over to me because he knew I was just going to blow a fuse. I kind of already had blown a fuse. But anyway, he comes to me, he says, no. He said, Gary, oh. This is the way he spoke. Oh, you're so blessed. Can't you see? And I'm just ready to, I loved him. I was going to wring his neck and say, no, I can't see. Please, educate me. Tell me what I'm not seeing here. Tell me how wonderful this is, because I'm about to jump off this cliff myself. Okay. And he said, no. Did you see what just happened? That was a sign. That was a message. The message is, don't blow your top. I am not making this up. 100%.
That's so funny.
That's what he said.
I love it.
And I got to tell you something. Oh, he's gone now. God rest his beautiful soul. I have thought of that so many times over the years when we've been in crazy locations, shooting crazy movies, and the wind fires up and starts to just annihilate everything. And that moment, him saying that, has absolutely gotten me to calm down at times. Not every time.
No, I've been there when he's not calm.
Yeah, not every time, but it has helped a lot, and we have that relationship. And we just finished this movie, as we said, and it was an absolute monster as far as the wind goes.
But
so, do you have any good wind stories when you were filming or shooting anything other than obviously this last one?
There's always been wind things, not as crazy as yours, where there's a lot of money lost, not from me. But yeah, I I was probably naked somewhere, getting blown over. I don't know.
That's it? That's your story?
That's my story.
Come on, man. We want a story. There has to be something insane that has... Have you ever had a production shut down because the wind was just like... It was really nice earlier in the day, and then the afternoon comes along and the wind just like destroys everything?
No, but I did have a production shut down once. But not for that reason. Should I say? Okay. All right.
You're just going to leave us hanging here?
No. Okay.
Egg on the face?
Well, there's something more in the face than egg. However, this was an adult production.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Okay.
So you know this story because I've said it to you before. I was on a set, and there was this girl who was on the same set who had done identity theft. And I didn't know this. Nobody on the crew knew this. Anyway, to make a long story short, her husband was supposed to work with me that day. And, oh wait, I'm sorry, I take that back. He was on set, she wasn't there, sorry. The girl that the identity theft happened to from this guy's wife came to set, and she saw the guy, and she called the cops.
Okay, wait a second. So let me get this right. So the guy you were going to work with,
yes,
his wife,
yes, she wasn't
had
there.
perpetrated
another actress
identity theft against another performer.
Yes.
And the other performer that she perpetrated this against,
yes,
was also there on set working.
She came to set, and she saw that.
She saw him and said, "Holy crap, call 911 or whatever."
She called the cops. The cops
Right.
came, and I, at that point, was supposed to work with somebody else because he had to leave. It was something weird.
Okay.
And if I'm getting this right, I'm pretty sure I
did he
have
have
it.
Did he have to leave because?
I don't remember
Because
that
of
part.
that?
I just remember the cops came, and we were about to shoot a scene.
Right.
And
he left. Did he bolt out of there? Was it like?
I don't
was it
remember
like
where
an
he
escape,
was.
Like an escape scenario?
I just remember that you don't want the cops to come to a house when you're shooting adult films.
Right.
I don't know if they had permits.
Right.
I don't know. I think
A lot
that's
of times they
probably
didn't.
what it was. So we're in the backyard going to shoot a scene. And then the cops show up, and it's right before everything's going to go down. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. And then we found out why. And then we're like, oh, crap. So the people in the production were mad at the girl because she called the cops. And I understand part of it. However, that girl also had something really heinous happen to her by somebody stealing. And the girl got a car off of her credit and everything.
Oh, so she bought a car?
Oh,
and
she did
everything
all
from
this
this
stuff.
Wow.
Yes. So I get the girl's reasoning for calling the police. Now it sucks because you don't want to have the police on an adult set. Oh, sorry. I'm like,
So you keep moving backwards, and our focus is like.
Sorry. I'm animated.
I preset the focus point.
I know, but
right
you know
there.
I get
animated. You might
animated.
be out of focus if you go backwards.
Sorry, I'll stay like this and plant it.
All right.
So yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
It did. It was a little convoluted, but.
I took an edible earlier, so.
Oh, I forgot you did an edible earlier.
So when I tell stories, you have to help. See, we're great partners in crime because I'll start it and he'll explain it.
Well, I was wondering why you were kind of quiet and timid, which you normally aren't.
No.
It's because of the edible. Well,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Because when you do the edibles and we're hiking and trekking around, it's like...
It's awesome.
Hey, I have a question actually with respect to that. This is an honest question.
Yeah.
When you're on an edible and we're trekking in these really wild places,
Yeah.
does it like take the edge off of the environmental conditions? Meaning, if it's cold, does it feel not quite so cold? Or hot, it doesn't feel quite so hot because you're on an edible? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, I think I plow through it better. I mean, you still feel it.
Okay.
But it's not as cold. I don't get as affected. Have you noticed that the last time you were out?
Right.
I think you were colder than I was.
Because I don't, like during the day, I never do edibles. Because I have to stay hyper-focused and I can't focus too much as well when I'm on an edible. At night, I do them to sleep. And man, I get great.
No, he likes it because he wants to be like, hey, let's go, girl.
I have had 6 years of the most incredible sleep you can possibly imagine.
Why do you say 6? It's longer than 6.
Whatever, 7. Who cares? Who's counting? It's been a lot of years. And every night I do an edible about an hour before bed. And I'm telling you, Just one. I just do like 10 milligrams. That's it. And nothing more. And I'm telling you, I sleep so good.
I don't even take 10. And then in the day, it depends. If I have to go somewhere and drive or do anything where I have to really think hard, I don't take the edible. But if we're hiking or if we're home and Gary's editing and I have stuff to do.
Well, if you have dialogue too.
Yeah, I don't do it during dialogue.
If you have dialogue, so she doesn't do it during dialogue.
No.
Which is understandable because you probably you'd take a lot of takes. You'd be all over the place.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, what?
Plus you would talk really quietly like this.
Why make fun of me?
Because when you talk quieter when you're on an edible.
I'm getting picked on.
No, you're not getting picked on. Oh, here we go again.
I'm getting picked on.
This is deja vu. I'm not picking on you. I promise.
Appreciate.
All right, so
yes.
In the comments below, tell us, do you like the idea of us doing these podcasts in really wild locations? They're going to be a lot longer. We're going to bring some guests, some super famous guests, and some just super cool in general guests. And we're going to take them to wild places, and we're going to share these experiences and do a little podcast that are in the great outdoors. And so those that are watching them on YouTube, you get to see the truth. You get to see the reality. You get to see how we hang on a daily basis, pretty much daily basis.
Yeah.
So this has been our R&R day, and we're beat to hell. It wasn't really R&R, I guess.
No, now we got to hike all the way back because we hiked back in.
That's
after.
True.
It's a lot. It's
all right.
a lot.
Subscribe. We love you guys.
And like. Make sure
and
you like.
I don't know, this notification bell,
it.
whatever all those YouTubers. We're film producers. This whole content creator thing is totally weird, but we're
having fun. No, it's fun because.
Agree. Plus,
have a good time.
We're going to be able to let you know a lot of inside information behind the scenes and things of all the productions that we do, and show you the truth, the raw, gritty, gnarly truth about the productions. And a lot of it's really cool and really wild, and we'll keep the boring stuff out of it. So.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll throw some in every once in a while.
It's so funny.
What?
Because you're still so serious. It's so cute. And I'm like, hey, everybody, what's up? Oh my, don't. Oh no, we are not going to do this. It's not happening.
Thank you.